That's right. Keto under 20. A Christmas present from Miss Joyce last year. Well, what makes a keto champ in Sarah's book? Want to know? Of course you know. You listen to me every day. You've got your fresh, steamy cup of coffee right now, and you're listening to me, and you're going, well, maybe I could guess. So maybe I should just be silent for 1 minute while everybody writes down their answers and see if you win. But there's no prize, except what works in Sarah's book could work in your book. Hi, everybody. If you've never watched me before, I'm eccentric, I'm eclectic, I'm also strict and structured and disciplined and boring that way. But guess what? It got me to maintenance, so I think I'm doing okay. And so I have like a Sarah scripture that I kind of pay attention to, and it works for me and it works for a lot of others out there. And a few of you have come from Weight Watchers right along with me. We have history that way, and we would do our Weight Watchers with unlimited fruit and veggies, but all that meant to us was unlimited fruit, right? Free fruit! And I would have 6 to 8 pieces of fruit every day. Every day. Lord knows what was going on. I'd have 3 meals a day and snacks, and I was a clock watcher, and every hour and a half I ate, literally, little snacky snacks, and you've got some of them in my way back. I've got over 1,000 videos, and so probably a couple hundred of them are when I was doing Weight Watchers, and I would do fun little videos of what I bring to work, and I'm telling you, I would pack that bag, and I would have an ounce of this and 2 ounces of that, a little package of this, and then a bunch of grapes, and then a peach, and then a apple, and then some yogurt, and then some nuts, and then some peanut butter, and then it was insane, but it was fun to do. I loved what I brought to lunch because I worked I think a 10-hour shift at my job at the shelter. And so, oh, you bet I loaded up, baby. I was like little baggies, little jars. I'd buy the little glass baby food jars. I've still got them, of course, and from Amazon, and I'd put in little bits of this and that. If some of you watch them, you know what I was doing. So, what is Sarah's scripture? What is her recipe? What is her brand of keto? Well, my brand of keto is because I'm an old lady. I'm 67 and almost a half, and I have been keto for a couple of years. I was low carb, high fat before that. And the only difference it made was that I would have a baked potato or a sweet potato. I would have more below ground things like, although a sweet potato is above ground, but I'd have the white potatoes and carrots and things like that. And now I am a keto, for the most part, under 20 every day. On Saturday nights, I have cauliflower crumbles, Brussels sprouts, and asparagus, and that puts me at around 21 carbs for the day. I mean, on Sunday. And I don't sweat. I don't sweat it because I have salads all the other days. And like today, for example, I am having a ribeye steak. I am having 4 Brussels sprouts. I'm having an ounce and a half of cauliflower crumbles. And I'm having a pretty big, not a big A, but a pretty big green leafy. And in that is 40 grams of watercress, 30 grams of baby Olivia's organic spinach, and 30 grams of Olivia's organic mixed greens, 7, yes, I weigh and measure, grams of slivered almonds sauteed in 1 teaspoon of Kerrygold butter. And then I'm having a half a tablespoon of macadamia nut oil and 1 tablespoon of organic EVU extra virgin olive oil on my salad. I am a one meal a day kind of gal. Didn't happen overnight, and I'm telling you, it didn't happen with my permission, which is kind of funny because I tried it a couple of days and I was a clock watcher and I got into a little hangry place. Yeah, and I do two bulletproof coffees, one at 3 a.m. and then one between like 9 and 10 a.m. I have my one meal a day, my OMAD between 3 and 4. And some people have chastised me and told me I'm not doing intermittent fasting and, all of the debates. If you're new to the keto world, just get ready. Just get ready because there are so many conflicting views on what works. This is what works for me. I'm at a weight that I weighed in the third grade, okay? 8 years old, and I'm 67 and a half now. So 60 years ago, I weighed this, and not since then. And so for me, it's working this way. The fat fuels me. I'm a foodie, so I like looking forward to it. And it gives me enough calories for the day because I'm used to 1,300 to 1,500 calories a day, and my food plan is 75 to 80% fat, and it is probably 5%, as far as the macros go, 5% or fewer carbs, and then like 10 or 20% protein. So it's all in how it weighs out. Today I'm having under 60 grams of protein. I'm having 111 grams of fat, and I'm having, I think it's 13.7 carbs, something like that. So with my Brussels sprouts, my cauli crumbles, and my salad, and then the steak. So I love my keto food plan. So the difference between me and some other people that you might be watching, besides 40 years, oh, that's scary, isn't that? Is that sometimes they keto-fy things, and sometimes you will see a lot of chemical and artificial ingredient items. Okay? Well, Sarah's scripture is to buy organic when possible. Always buy organic green leafies, except I can't find watercress organically grown. I don't know if it is organic. I don't know. It's by the farmers called Cresson, Cresson, and they also make a baby arugula. So I think hopefully there's care in the raising of it because there's not others out there. The organic watercress that they have at Trader Joe's is like buying a bunch of clover with the dirt still attached, and it wouldn't do in the salad the way that the Crescent does. So anyway, so I aim for real food, whole food, unadulterated food. And yes, coconut oil is minimally processed. And yes, heavy whipping cream is minimally processed. But I buy the heavy whipping cream that's organic. There is no carrageenan in it. The aspartame is like the third rail for me. The thought of meat glue scares the bejesus out of me. And so far, those are the three additives that we have discussed. I buy organic, good culture, plain cottage cheese. It has live cultures in it, not unlike yogurt. So I like that, and I do put my sauteed almonds onto that. I buy jumbo Pete and Jerry organic pasture-raised eggs. I love my jumbos. Not going to get me to go back to large or extra large or medium or small. No way, Jose. I like my my big eggs. What else do I do? I buy the almond milk or the cashew milk. They used to be organic, but they aren't now. But there's no carrageenan in them. So sometimes you just got to do your trade-offs, right? And those are usually Almond Breeze or Blue Diamond. Same. What else? Cauliflower crumbles are the green giant ones. I know they're not organic. I do have some organic ones from Trader Joe's in my freezer. Those are my emergency ones. Brussels sprouts are hard to find organic. I had them a lot last summer. I guess they were more plentiful at that point, and they didn't. You didn't. I didn't even have to go to Whole Foods to get them. So organic Brussels sprouts were found in stores. That was great. When I have celery, it's organic, and so yeah, green beans. I get the Peros organic green beans. Although Nature's Promise from Stop and Shop has frozen green beans, and I am not adverse to them at all because they last longer than Peros. Peros get slimy almost overnight, and it makes me cranky because I hate wasting good money on things that go mucky, slimy overnight. So in Sarah's scriptures, I used to talk a lot about this, and so I'll say it again today. If your grandmother couldn't have bought it, then don't you buy it. If your grandmother wouldn't recognize that it's a food, don't you buy it. Okay? That's pretty much the basis for the foods that I use. I don't get all fancy. I don't get all chemically. I don't keto-fy breads or foods or desserts, breads or desserts or waffles or things like that. I get very triggered when I see them. When I'm on somebody's website and all of a sudden they're whipping out what they're cooking and putting yucky syrup on them, sugar-free syrup. I don't buy the sugar-free syrups. Sure, they're attractive to me, especially anything caramel. They look very interesting, but I don't do it. Why don't I do it? Because I am a card-carrying food addict. And look-alikes, taste-alikes, wanna-be-likes are very triggering to me, and I don't want to dance with them. I don't. I like my food savory and fatty, and so far so good. And so I'm going to stick with what works for me, and then I don't have to think about the rest. So do this when you're in the store. Become a label reader for starters, especially if you're buying something that's minimally processed. Okay, grass-fed beef is ideal, but uncured pepperoni or bacon or ham is nice too. But let's face it, we're not all dripping in dollars. And so do the best you can. I always buy the grass-fed beef, ground beef, and then just take my luck with other meats. And I've made it this far. So I just like the idea of ground beef coming from grass-fed. And I don't have fruits. We had a raspberry bush. We have a raspberry bush. So in the summer, for about a month, I fought with the birds to get my half ounce or ounce every few days. And so I'm doing as hunter-gatherers do. If it's winter, I'm not having berries. And that's it. I don't buy them. I'm not going to buy them out of season. For no other reason than I'm not adapted to anything sweet anymore. I do use Xyla erythritol and stevia in my 2 bulletproof coffees. And as I've said here before, it's probably, it takes away some of the bitter because I drink real strong coffee. And then I do buy Dr. Price's electrolyte powder, and I sprinkle it on my magnesium powder and my potassium powder, which are wicked, wicked, wicked bitter. And so I sprinkle that on. One packet is for 3 or 4 days worth of that teaspoon that I have in the morning, with either a lime squeezed on it or a lemon squeezed on it. I use Lakewood organic lemon juice, and it says 0 carbs on it. So I have about a tablespoon of that in my lemon water in the morning, along with that little powdery mixture. And that's how I begin my day. Then I have a bulletproof coffee. Then I have another bulletproof coffee. And then I have my OMAD between 3 or 4. So be careful of which keto gurus you listen to. There's a lot of them out there. It's like they're popping up like zits on a teenager. I mean, there's no other way to say it, okay? They are like coming out of the woodwork because it's January, and you know what that means. Plus, there is an Atkins new rollout with Rob Lowe. I've watched a lot of those Atkins podcasts by people doing it, as well as the experts. It's interesting. I don't see the difference whatsoever. Maybe not as liberal with fat. And then there's the I was going to say the Oprah Freestyle, the Weight Watcher Freestyle, which has 200 free foods or something like that. So kind of carby stuff, kind of standard American diet, and so it'll keep people continuing with Weight Watchers, which is, if you're happy with your Weight Watcher program, that's great. I know it works for some people. The younger you are, the more luck you'll have with it. Let me just leave it at that. Most of us oldies but goodies have done Weight Watchers more than once, and there just comes a point where we are just Weight Watcher resistant. We are just carb resistant. Our body says, enough, like an alcoholic, enough. So I've had my quota of standard American diet items. I am so happy I found keto. And if you're here, I'm so happy you're here too. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button, comment. It's fun. If you need some personal one-on-one food coaching, I have a food coaching business. It is called KetoCoachingSarah.com, and you can find me there and different packages. So thanks so much for watching. This has been Sarah's Scripture. What works for her, maybe it'll work for you too. And if it does, that's awesome. Let's talk about it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.